Poland. Very excited to see this 14-year-old and how he gets on. Of course, he's guaranteed 2 years on tour. But it is a baptism of fire, of course. He's coming up against some very experienced players, and he's gaining experience in the process himself.
I was discussing the other day that 14 years old, it's it goes to show that, because when I turned professional 12 years ago, there was very, very few players from the continent, from Europe, that were really showing any promise. We had Luca, and he was, from his mid-teens, was starting to show signs. But looking back 12 years ago, Michael was a baby. There's no way that he was going to be turning professional at that age. But to think now that 12 years later that must have had probably 12 players from the continent. We've had a few from Germany, from Poland as well, Latvia. It's amazing to see how globalised our sport's become now from 10, 12 years ago when I first turned professional. And it's not just that they are professionals, they are warranted and earned professionals who have got a real chance of doing some damage on this tour.
Yeah, it's exciting for the sport, but China remains a great powerhouse, and Zhu first in, looking to just use his experience and authority here in the early stages. This is always a big match for the top seed. If you win it, you're off and running, you're setting the pace. If you don't, then it's an opportunity for the other players in the group. And Fang Zhengyi, Liam Highfield, two pretty formidable opponents to come.
I know exactly how Zhu will be feeling right now. In exactly this position yesterday, and ended up losing the first frame in the first match, and instantly you're under pressure, because in this format you think, well, it's only a small event, it's the start of the season, but you want to get off to a good run, and you want to be able to make sure that when you get into that last match in this evening session, that it's in your hands, that you can win the group yourself rather than rely on other results.
Yeah, exactly. And Fang Zhengyi, the second seed, plays back-to-back matches, so if Zhu doesn't get the win, then it's a big opportunity for Fan to open a gap. Anyway, he's in first. 41 in the world, but these days that makes you a world beater, really. He's had a few really good runs recently, including, as I mentioned, the International Championship last year. Ding beat him in the semis.
20.
I was eagerly watching that match, because obviously I was playing the winner. I think Zhu was 5-1 in front and cruising. Looked for all the money in the world that I was going to be playing him in the final in Nanjing, but obviously it's a different prospect playing Ding compared to playing, and no disrespect to Zhu, he would have much rather have been playing me in the final than obviously playing Ding. Just because of that experience factor. If you've been in those major finals and won big tournaments, you've got what it takes, and you have when it comes to those crux moments in the matches.
Yeah, he said that about the semi-final. The fact it was 2 sessions, obviously there was the time to consider the midway position and what it would mean to him. Anyway, he's just looking here to settle into conditions. The last day of stage 1. It's been a long wait for him to get involved in the